So have you ever wondered about how big tech companies, especially like Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, YouTube, all these applications are handling the user request and as well as providing the responses seamlessly? Yes, it's all because of microservices applications. So that means what is microservices again? Here it is. Yes, in general, we have traditional application development called as monolithic application development. So that means we are binding all functionalities together as a single application and we are deploying into respective environments as a. But when it comes to the microservices point of view, yes, we are splitting all the functionalities as a individual scalability applications. That means the main agenda of microservices here it is, we are just making the flexibility as well as scalability and faster deployments in our day-to-day life point of view. In today's fast-forwarded software industry, business needs to scale quickly and as well as release the new features of a product, and as well as business always trying to maintain high availability of all their services, right? So this is all possible only when we are going with the microservices, because microservices are completely independent. By using microservices, we can develop independent and seamless applications always. Now in this session, I'm going to cover all the use cases of microservices as well as advantages of microservices, and what are the real world use cases of microservices and what are the advantages we are going to get over the monolithic application development we are going to see in this session. Yeah. So stay tuned. By end of this video, you will get all the solid understanding of microservices and how they are powering modern applications nowadays. We will see in this sessions. Yeah, so right now we are starting looking into microservices. So we will try to understand what is the concept of microservices and why every application being developed nowadays in microservices architecture when comparing with the monolithic. So we'll try to understand all these details as part of our first session. Okay, so that means earlier when we are creating this software web applications or software applications, we don't have microservices architecture. So everybody used to implement only monolithic applications. So that means first of all, we should understand what is a monolithic, and then we can compare it monolithic with microservices, and where then we will see the uses of microservices or advantages over the monolithic application where when we are considering the microservices. Let's try to understand. Okay, so first of all, the microservices is the statement is all about, just like microservices is an architecture style. So that means microservices is an architectural style. So that means it's not something like a programming language, it's not something like a tool or technology. So we are going to use in our application development. No, it's not like that. So the microservices topic is all completely talking about an architecture style. So where we are building an application as collection of small applications as well as independent services. Okay, as well as independent services, and that communicates via, and those services are going to communicate each other via APIs. So what is the API? We know that we are already completed what is an API. Okay, how to generate the APIs, how to consume the APIs and all. So that means the microservices is an about architecture style where we are building that. That means by following this architecture style, we are building an application. An application means a single application as a collection of small as well as independent services that communicated each other via APIs. So that means what is the meaning of building a single application again as a collection of small or independent services? Let's try to understand. Okay. So generally, if you're going to the olden approach, like when it monolithic approach point of view, so monolithic. So what is a monolithic in this case? So if you're taking monolithic applications, so what is the meaning of monolithic applications means? So the mono represents single. The mono represents single, here it is. So that means whenever we created any application, any web application, any software application, the monolithic architecture is completely saying like built all the specific functionalities or built all the functionalities as a single application, as a single application. as a single project in our terminology point of a single project. So that means if you take in our day-to-day used e-commerce application, let's take like Amazon. Okay. So generally what Amazon application will have, if you're taking the e-commerce point of view, so we have always user registration. So user management. So that means this module is completely talking about what it's talking about. We are creating our user accounts. Okay. So sign up as well as sign in, right? And we are changing our password section. So all our addresses, so all our addresses information. So this is all about as part of user management. So etc. 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 So that means in this case, what I'm trying to say is if you are considering the entire Amazon as a single application, the module where we are implementing the logic with respect to user management point of view, nothing but customer account sign up, customer sign in, customer changing the passwords, adding the addresses, deleting the password addresses, all this information I'm just correlating as a user management. So after that, we will have section called as products management. So what is the meaning of products management here again? Yes, obviously, right? So here, whoever is sellers, so that means the sellers will start what? They will start adding the product details, right? And as well as they will update the product details, right? And sometimes we have to provide a permission type deleting the products also. So right, so that means deciding the price, adding the products, uploading the products, updating the products, deleting the products, etc., etc. All this information I'm considering under the product management. So that means again similarly, what is the next step? Order management. So that means a customer, whenever registered his account and whenever he explored all the products, okay, then what generally you will have something like cart management, wish list, all this thing, right? Okay, let's take like this. So the whatever it is, wish list, and then cart, and then finally you are proceeding for the, you added all the items to the okay cart, and you are proceeding for the payment. So that means here again you are creating an order. So that means you are placing an order, you are placing an order, and as well as sometimes we can cancel the order also, right? Once we place it the order, we are going to cancel the order. So that means these are all functionalities again I'm just considering under one more module called as order management. So similarly what we will have guys, payments, right? So sometimes our payments got failed and payment transaction is success, all these things. Similarly once payment is comes, then delivery module. So what is the point of delivery module? Who will enter in this case? So again, delivery boys, and that means delivery boys login. So all the delivery boys login. So that means here delivery boys point of view, delivering the products. Okay, it's all about dealing with the something like pin codes, all this information, right? Pin codes management, all these things, delivery management. Okay, just updating the status of the orders, all these things, right? So etc. 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 So now similarly next, what will happen? Maybe you will have return management. So what is the meaning when return management? Yes, definitely customers will return the products, right? The moment they return the products, we will do a lot of times. Okay. So something like replacing the item. So that means our application point of view, we have to implement all these functionalities, replacing or just giving the cashback again. So you are going to provide the cashback or you are going to check the like all this information, etc., etc., etc. Right? And we will have finally one more thing called as customer care also, right? So if customer is having any issue, customer can reach to the care. So here again, you will provide multiple options via call. So that means we will display all these functionalities like email or instant chat, whatever it is, right? So now what I'm trying to say it is overall Amazon application is all about a single project. If you are considering all these functionalities, whenever we are using our Amazon application, this is all about a single project. It's completely, we are calling it as Amazon e-commerce application, right? E-commerce application. So it's a single application. Now, when it comes to developer point of view or development phase, now this is the requirement of Amazon application. Assume now we are going to build this application. So we have to build this application, and this is all about requirement. Now Amazon is giving something like this is what, or assume some other company also similar to like this only we have to implement. Now, as a developer point of view, in this case, whenever we are making user management point of view, like whatever the functionalities I discussed right now, every code related to this, all the REST services, whatever you just consider, okay? So all the APIs, whatever it is, tables, logic or whatever it is, all the user management related functionalities, similarly product management functionalities, product management code. That means we are just assume like you are providing APIs for deleting the products, updating the products, okay, all this information, product management APIs or whatever it is. And similarly, next, order management, right? So order management APIs, whatever it is, all the logic. So like that, if you're taking order, then call it as payments, and then again the logic called as delivery module related logic, as well as then return management, customer care. So that means what we are trying to do here, it is all the functionalities we are implementing in a single application. So that means assume the development completed or whatever it is. So we are considering all the projects, sorry, all the modules. Generally, when you are developing a single application with all the functionalities in the single project itself. So assume in this case, what is the point you have to understand here? It is the source code, whatever the logic, assume you are implementing everything in the Java point of view, Java and Spring Boot point of view, Java plus Spring or Spring Boot, whatever it is. Yeah, Spring Boot point of view. So the source code of all these functionalities, all these modules. So now I can call it as a generally, if it is a single project, I can call it as a module, user module, pay product module, order module. That is the terminology people will use. So that means all these modules and its internal implementation and it's all implement, okay, hidden things or whatever it is, all the functionalities we implemented in a single project under a single source code point of view, right? So now what we will do, we will make a build. Okay, assume our application development is continuing, our application development is completed. Generally, what is the process of in this case? We'll perform a build. The moment you performed a build, assume you are going to get a war file, right? So something Amazon.war file. So that means what is the meaning of this one? So you are going to deploy this application again on the a server. You are deploying on a server. So that means what we are doing right now is we are making a deployment. And then finally your Amazon application got deployed on a so and so server, and people will start using this application. Generally, this is what the process of a traditional approach or golden approach with respect to. So now it's a live application so that customers can access your application. Okay, this is the story behind the, so what the traditional development when I mean before the microservices point of view. So now all the modules we incorporated or integrated under a single project or single application. That's why this kind of architecture will be called as what? Monolithic application. So that's why mono is nothing but single. So it's you're just consolidated all the functionalities into single application or single project, and it's always making a single war file or whatever it is, and you're making as a single project deployment into so and so servers, and you're just doing that. So that means as a developer point of view, with respect to development stage point of view, you are implemented all the logic as a under a single application. That's why it is called as monolithic application. Now, when it comes to the microservices, okay, disadvantages we will decide later. Okay, we will see it after taking the information about microservices also. So now when it comes to the microservices architecture. So now what we discussed right now is a point about microservices. Microservices is not a something like a tool or technology. It's all just like a architecture, right? So what is the meaning of architecture? Something like a design solution or a just like a design statement, a problem, right? For a better solution point of view, we will make some design, and that is what just we are following. We are considering it as an architecture. So now what microservices architecture is saying is, okay, so instead of creating a single application to incorporate all the functionalities, all the modules, what microservices is saying is, on a high level point of view, it is just saying like, Okay, split or segregate into multiple services of same application. So that means if you are taking the same above Amazon application point of view, what the microservices architecture suggesting here it is, instead of building everything under one project, make sure splitting into multiple services. So that means what is the point of multiple service? How you are going to split or segregate into multiple services is each service will have a specific business functionality, specific business functionality. So what is the point again here it is, how we are going to segregate in the sense that each service is going to have a specific business functionality. So that means now, if I take an again same requirement of use Amazon application, if I take in the user management, so that means all user related functionalities, that means user sign up, deletion, password creations, password updations, adding the addresses, deleting the addresses, changing profile pictures, okay, deleting existing addresses, modifying the existing addresses, all these functionalities as a single service point of view. What? A service. So service one. So in this case, what is the each service is going to have a specific business functionality. So that means in this case, this service is serving the functionalities related to only user management related point of view, okay, accounts management point of view, sign up operations, all these things. Now, similarly, is this the single application is going to achieve the entire functionalities of all Amazon application? No, it's only just like user service. Now, what microservices architecture is saying, like again, splitting into multiple. So the number of okay modules or the number of functionalities based on your application is having, just make sure splitting into multiple services. Now, what it is saying is, let's take product management, okay, as one more service, as one more service. So now this is one more service. So now what is the advantage? What is the point of this service? It is specifically this service, or see, in this case, service is nothing but application, guys, nothing but project. Okay, in our simple terminology point of view, it's nothing but project. So that means what this service or this application or this project is dealing in this case is how to add the products, updating the products, deleting the products, okay, updating the offers, or providing reviews for the products, or just all this information, all this functionality, we are going to implement under this service. We are going to implement under this service, right? So, okay, cool. So that means now total two services we created. Similarly, what it was trying to say here, it is like that the number of business functionalities you are having as part of your application specific to a functionality, just implement everything as a individual services, nothing but individual applications. So that's why now what I'm doing is order management as one more service. Similarly, payments. Okay, so that means now cans payments. So what is the point of payments again here? So the payments point of view, generally you will have payment statuses, success, failure, you will have all these things, right? So all these things, right? Payment status, payment related point of view, one more service. So service 3 and service 4, like that. Similarly, you are going to what microservices architecture as point of view it is, you have to implement individual applications. We have to implement individual applications like this. Okay, so similar to that, you will do return management and as well as customer care also. Okay, let's take this one also. Yeah, return management, and then followed by something like customer care. So like this, what microservices architecture is saying is segregate or split into multiple services. So now the total, assume in this case, I got as an example perspective, 4 service number 5, and then service number 6, and then service number 7, something, whatever it is. So now when you are going with monolithic point of view, we implemented all the things as a single project and we deployed into a single server point of view, and we are just using that mic spring, okay, Amazon application, just like that. Now, same application, if you are going with microservices point of view, splitting into multiple services of same application. Yes, I split it into 7 services. Nothing but total 7 applications I created, 7 projects we created. So, for example, I'm taking, okay, total 7 projects are created. Total how many? Total 7 projects are created in this case. It's nothing but in this case, microservices point of view, we have to call it as a services. So total 7 services, nothing but 7 projects we created. Assume like this. Now, at the same time, what microservice is saying is each service will have, I mean, how we are going to segregate here it is, each service is going to have a specific business functionality. So tomorrow, assume that definitely we have email functionality, right? Whenever we place an orders, we'll get email notifications, right? So it's a message notification, email notification like that. So that means when it comes to the notifications, yes, I'm creating one more service. So as part of this notifications point of view, I'll trigger email notifications. I'll trigger text notifications, nothing but messages. I'll trigger push notifications, right? So what is the meaning of push notifications means? Generally what we will see on our mobiles, the notifications, right? So I'll see push notifications, all these notifications. So that means this is again as one more service. So the business area, the business functionality of the service is all completely dealing with notifications, sending the notifications while placing the orders, while canceling the orders, while delivering the orders, whatever the notifications you want to do. So that logic you have to implement always in this case. So that means I'm adding one more service. So like that, we have to implement individual services under the microservices architecture. Okay, now, okay, so here everything implemented into single project. That's why, okay, it's an overall single application. But here you create a total 8 projects, 8 services. Then how can we make sure this again as a single application? Yes. As per microservices architecture point of view, we are going to have couple of, okay, so components. By using those components, okay, by using those things, somehow we are going to make sure all these services are interconnected. Okay, so all these services are interconnected or intercommunicated via API's point of view. Okay, so what we are going to do, so for example, payment notification. Yes, we'll make a API call to the notification service. So similarly, when you are placing an order, a notification has to trigger. So that means you are calling a service here again. So when you are making an order, you need to know product price and all. So that means you are making a API call. Here it is. So when you are delivering the order, okay, so order number is required. So that means you are making a call to the delivery module. When you are making a return of the product, that means order point of view, yes. So when you are making the return, you need to receive the payment, right? Again, payment triggeration should happen. Okay, cashback point of view. So then again, you are making a call to the payment module. So that means in this case, all these services are interconnected or intercommunicated via APIs. So that's why I said the REST APIs is the most famous concept nowadays when we are learning this Spring Boot point of view. So here the API, this one service to another service communication always happens via APIs. So that means every microservice, every application in this case, every functionality being implemented as a API. So what kind of communication you are making here? It is API communication. So it's completely API. So all microservices or all applications, we are implementing multiple services, add product, delete product, update product, like that. We are making lot of services, product price, product information, like that. We are implementing a lot of APIs. And whenever order management want price, so based on the product ID, so simply it will pass PID. By the time it already one API is existed here, like something like PID/price. Okay. So then what it is doing, it is passing the PID. I want so and so product ID price like that, or all the information. So the moment it is making a call, REST service call to this product, it will execute that call and it will give all the information back to the order management service as a response. Then order management will take that response and it will process that response for further actions. So that means in this case, the microservices communication completely happening via APIs. So that means tomorrow, whenever you are dealing with working on microservices architecture means we have to understand one thing very clearly. You should know 100%, okay, producing the APIs, consuming the APIs. So now this overall application again acting as a single application point of Amazon application. So now this is also an Amazon application. So that means what we did overall here it is we segregated same requirements into multiple services, nothing but multiple applications. And we enable communication between one service to another service. But to manage the communication, to manage the microservices configuration, okay, we are going to have some of the libraries that we will use it as part of Spring Boot already provided all the libraries. So by using those libraries, we are going to make the communication configuration. So that means here you will have some challenges when you are working on microservices architecture, especially configuration of microservices is the biggest challenge. And so as well as communication between the microservices is also a biggest challenge, right? So configuration and communication point of view, and as well as fail use point of view, we will discuss that later. So these two things are major components when you are working with the microservices architecture. So configuration of all microservices and making sure like communication between one microservice to another microservice also is the biggest challenge in the microservices. But when it comes to monolithic point of view, it's all Java classes. You are already have all Java classes in a single project. Whenever you want, okay, for example, order management want product information. In this case, API call is happening. It's a Spring Boot application. This is also a Spring Boot application. Total two Spring Boot applications. But here it's a overall, right? So that means what you will do, you will simply create an object of, so you're not creating APIs in this case. In a monolithic point of view, you don't need to create APIs to make communication between order to product. Why? Simple Java classes. Here you have a Java classes. Here you have a Java classes. And everything in the same project. So that means create an object for that respective Java class. Okay. And then just call it and call that so and so methods. Simply you'll get the logic will be executed and you'll get all the data. But here it's all one application to another application communication. That's why it's completely via API's point of view. You make a API call, then it will give the response back here, and then you have to use the response here it is. Okay, so this is how the microservices architecture. Okay, this is the high level concept of microservices architecture. Now the point is, what is the advantage over the monolithic when you are taking the microservices? Definitely, there are a lot of advantages. Otherwise, people will not adopt microservices architecture easily, right? In every application nowadays. So definitely, there are a lot of advantages. Let's see couple of advantages. See, the drawbacks of monolithic application will become advantages of microservices. So we have a lot of drawbacks in the monolithic, and those are all we can overcome in the microservices. That means definitely microservices are going to have more advantages with monolithic. And similarly, microservices are also having little bit disadvantages when comparing with the monolithic point of view. So what and all we will discuss one by one, because that's what microservices is all about. Now in this case, overall point of view, we know how to create the Spring Boot applications. We know how to generate the APIs. We know how to consume the APIs. So now in this microservices training point of view, what we are going to learn here it is, there are some concepts related to configuration point of view and communication point of view. So those concepts we will learn here. But before entering into those actual configuration and communication with respect to microservices point of view, so we should know advantages and disadvantages, right? Yes, let's see those things also. So nothing but mono versus micro. Okay, so what is the point of mono versus microservices point of view? First thing is, one of the first point I'll take here it is, okay, so mono means single, micro means multiple, that we know that. So if you take in the deployment, that is the first phase, right? Generally after development. Okay, development point of view, we discussed already. 7 microservice, 7 single individual Spring Boot application or whatever it is. I cannot select Spring Boot application. 7 projects or 7 applications. So here, everything under one only. Now, when it comes to the deployment point of view, in this case, what happened? Yes, deployment is very easy in the monolithic when comparing with microservices. Why? Here everything is a single application and you built as a single file and you are deploying on the single server as a single application. So that means when it comes to the deployment point of view, in monolithic point of view, it is very easy with respect to management point of view. When it comes to the microservices point of view, it's very difficult. Why? The reason is whenever you want to make your entire Amazon application is up and running, it's not about one deployment you have to do, one service. You have to consolidate all services, whether it is a 8 services, 10 services, 40 services, 50 services. You have to make sure all 40, okay, all services got built. Okay, all services got built. Okay, it's fine. So that means, for example, in this case, assume I'm creating total 8 jar files. Okay, so Spring Boot, you know that executable jar files are created in the Spring Boot, right? More microservice. That's what Spring Boot is got famous with respect to microservices architecture. So I'll come back to that point also. So with respect to deployment point of view, here if you have a single server, you can, as a single application, you are doing it. But here, what we are doing, assume in Spring Boot point of view only, total 8 services you have to build and total 8 jar files you have to create, and finally you have to build up, you have to, okay, start all 8 services. So nothing but I can say like you are deployed 8 services. So 8 jar files created or 8, whatever it is, artifacts. Total you started 8 services means nothing but 8 services we deployed. So that means, yes, deployment process point of view, microservices is going to having little bit, okay, extra things when comparing with the monolithic. Okay, that is okay. So anyway, this concepts is something like related to the, we will automate it process in the real time point of view. We will automate it by using DevOps tools. Our DevOps team will help us to automate this entire process. When you are working in the microservices architecture project, don't worry about it. But generally, on a high level point of view, we are discussing. Now, scalability. Second point is the most important point here. It is scalability. Yeah, this is the biggest advantage of microservices. So what is the meaning of scalability? Let's try to understand. Okay, you are done with the deployment point of view. When it comes to monolithic, again, microservices point of view, let's take like this. Mono versus micro, right? So what is the scalability? First of all, here it is. Okay, scalability. So that means scale up the services or whatever it is. What is the meaning of scalability? Let's try to understand. Okay, with an explanation. Okay, so in this case, the scalability point of view, for example, if you take in the monolithic application once again, what is having monolithic application? Okay, let's take like this. This is the biggest advantage. So let's come back here. Okay, so if I take in the monolithic application, so what is the point of scalability here? It is, for example, in general, real-time point of view, let's try to understand. Assume the same Amazon application is deployed and everything is good. So it's customers are accessing the Amazon application. Now, assume in such a way like Amazon announced some sale for so and so dates. Like for example, from August 14th to 16th, 3 days, they announced a sale, 80% off, something like that. I think we will see that, right? Big billion sales, all these things. So they announced some sales based on some occasion, whatever it is. Now, assume out of this time, okay, for example, if you take in today's date, okay, assume today also we are using Amazon application. So today is just like assume March 12th or whatever it is. So now the point here it is the customers of Amazon application, whoever is already registered or using on this day, on a normal day, assume 2 lakh customers are used the application on this day. Only 2 lakhs customers used this application. 2 lakhs customers are using this application. So when 2 lakhs customers are used this application means one customer, okay, one customer point of view, generally, see, If I open my Amazon e-commerce application, if you go here, Amazon, okay, right? So this is my Amazon application. I logged in, right? So as a single user, now what I'm doing, I spent almost, assume I have some time, I'm spending half an hour today. Just I want to buy some small, maybe whatever it is, 100 rupees item or whatever it is, some mobile pouch or whatever it is. So, but the thing is, whenever I want some mobile accessories like that, whatever I want mobile accessories, so I made a service call. Think in the developer point of view now. The moment I searched here, what happened, guys? A service call is went, right? So similarly, if I'm clicking on some product, okay, so I'm clicking on this cable now. What happened? Again, one more service call went back. I don't like this. Now I'm clicking on one more product, okay, this one. So that means one more service call. See, as a single Dilip user, how many products I am opening? Unlimitedly. So that means I'm opening on an average as a single user, single customer point of view, how many products I explode is, assume I explode 100 products. Just a single product point of view I opened and simply I clicked on a lot of options means, assume I made total 100 service calls. Think in the developer point of view. I made 100 service calls. So now 100 service calls related to which module, guys? In this case, 100 service calls. So you just explored 100 products. That means you made 100 service calls. And all these 100 service calls will go to which functionality more and more? Definitely product management. Why? Because you are just exploring the products. So that means as a single user point of view, as a single user management point, okay, when it comes to logic point of view, Java point of view, as a single user, you did single time login, one call for login. Just made sign in and all, that's all okay, one call. But the same single user made 100 service calls, like whatever the products he was liking, whatever the unnecessary things, whatever it is, I'm seeing, I'm just clicking and I'm just opening it, right? Keep on exploring the products. I'm exploring the exploring the products. In a sometime point of view, I made 100 service calls, I explored 100 products. So this logic will go to which area more and more means product management. So, okay, if it is one user point of view, 100 service calls for the product management. Now, if you take in the 2 lakh users, so assume same 2 lakh users, on an average, everybody is exploring a lot of products, then assume at least 50 calls to the product management. Calls means think as a front end to back end point of view, development point of view, API calls. Now, overall, you are seeing here millions of calls. Millions of calls to where, guys? Product management code. Product management code, millions of calls are going. But millions, right? Assume in this case, how many user login calls went? If you take in this use case, 2 lakh user. Assume 2 lakh users did this sign in. That means 2 lakh sign in calls. Only 2 lakhs. Only 2 lakh sign in calls happened in this case. Right? So user module point of view, only 2 lakh calls, but product management point of view, millions of calls, right? So millions of calls went. So that means in this case where the load of application point of view, where the load is going more and more, product management, right? Product management. Okay. Now out of 2 lakh users after exploring, so assume 50K users placed an orders. So that means again, in this case also 50K calls, API calls or service calls went to which module? Order management. Order management. Right? So that means see, whenever we are using this overall application, the logic more and more overload or more traffic going to the product management and after that order management like that. Because even right now I did not done any login. It's all my previous login. Right? But definitely the more overburden is always happening on the product management. Okay, so that is how things will happen. Now it's okay, but on a big billion sale day level, assume how much users will connect to the same Amazon application, and how many products will be explored on that day, and how many calls will go to that product management. So for example, on this special day, not 2 lakhs, assume it is a holiday time. So total 10 times people are 20 lakhs people connected on that day application, because 80% is offer. That's why sometimes we will see applications are going down. On a special big billion sale day time, sometimes our applications will go down. The reason is this is what 20 lakhs customers connected to the application. So that means, okay, user management point of view, 20 lakhs calls. Now, assume on the days, generally, we will not explore only one product, because we are having lot of offers. Lot of offers are attracting, right? So now this 20 lakhs users are exploring the products, keep on exploring to find out very basic amount product, or maybe where you are finding more offers like that. So that means, assume every customer is making 200 calls, 200 API calls, 200 products explored. Okay, I'm saying like instead of 50 products, I'm saying like now 200 products. So that means now with respect to product management point of view, the logic wherever you implemented all the products, getting the product information, all these information point of view, product management, getting loading product information or whatever it is. So you are seeing billions of calls. So you are seeing billions of requests. So that means what happened here it is, in this overall monolithic application point of view, the more overburden is always happening on a regular day as well as on a busy day also. Okay, the more overburden is always happening on the product management level. The logic is more and more it's happening. Now assume somehow this product management code is not able to handle these many of requests, then what will happen? Your application will be crashed. So your application will be crashed. So that means now on a threshold, on a overhead performance, okay, over the limit, it is unable to handle your request all of a sudden. So then what will happen? Your application will be crashed. So our application will be crashed. The moment application will crash, it means application will go something like out of memory or whatever it is down. So that means now customers G cannot access your application. So that means what's happening in this case? Your business is impacting. So your business is impacting. So it leads to, okay, the business is impacting. So when customers are, okay, customers are not satisfied because your application went down. Now customers went into a negative mode, like you made a trap, okay, for a promotion point of view, this sale, you announced the sale, and finally okay, application went down. So that means customers will start negative feedback or negative spread to avoid towards your application, so business will go down. So then that means next time onwards, your application is going keep on going down on sale day. People will feel like it's a trap, like making more attention to the application point of view. But actual thing is, actually what happened, the based on your monolithic application point of whatever it is, I mean, the logic handling is not happening properly, so that's why application got crashed. The reason, that product management level, lot of API calls are happening, lot of logic is executing, so that's why it's unable to handle, and that's why your application went down. Okay, cool. So now solution to this, generally what people used to do is, instead of this, when it comes to monolithic point of view only, so people will scale up multiple instances. What we will do, so we will scale up multiple instances. We will scale up multiple instances. So what is the meaning of scaling up multiple instances is, now what is the best solution in this case? Okay, on a regular day, assume same project, you are maintaining five instances. Okay, assume like that. So it will handle up to 5 lakhs customers on a regular day point of view. So that's why you made 5 instances. It can handle up to 5 lakhs users, okay, active users. So that means it can handle almost 1 billion product calls or whatever it is. 5 instances is nothing but same project you deployed on 5 times on the 5 servers. Okay, that means 5 instances, same project, same application you deployed into 5 areas, 5 servers or whatever it is. So now same Amazon application, you made 5 instances. Okay, so like that, same application you made 5 instances up and running. But okay, why you made this five instances up and running is because of the product management point of view. So the intention here it is whenever any incoming request comes, okay, from the front end point of view or whatever it is, you will use some load balancing. Okay, so assume some load balancer concept. We will see this guys, load balancer. Okay, in our microservices architecture also you'll see that. So load balancing point of view, what people used to do is we will balance the load like, okay, few requests will go to like this, like this, like this, like this. The request and responses are okay routed based on the busy of the existing instance. But the drawback in this case is when you are scaling up of this application, the main agenda behind maintaining 5 instances here it is all about the logic related to the product management because you are getting millions and billions of API calls on the product API management, right? So that's the reason you made 5 instances up and running, 5 instances up and running in a monolithic point of view. But the point here it is you are making 5 instances especially to deal with millions of calls related to product management, but automatically your infrastructure, the servers or whatever it is, automatically whenever you made something for product management, but it is 5 times okay, user management, product management, order management, payments, delivery, return, customer care. That means all together, all all functionalities together scaled up as a 5 instances. But the reason you scaled up actually for the product management related logic, but in okay, along with product management, you are scaling up the log okay functionalities of all other things. Why? Because it's a monolithic application. It's a single project, it is a single application. So that means if you want to bring something for one thing, you want to make more instances are up and running, but automatically all functionalities are up and running because yes you can deploy it together as a single application, it's not like individual because it's a monolithic application. So that means what is the disadvantage with this is your infrastructure, because this infrastructure is more cost guys. Okay, when you are working on the uh, cloud or whatever it is, I mean this assume this is all cloud or whatever it is, infrastructure point of view it's a very costly infrastructure or whatever it is. Not only infrastructure, okay, not it's not about infrastructure. See, product management point of view, I'm maintaining 5 instances. But unnecessarily, I'm getting all okay. I don't want actually return customer care because okay, that logic can handle whatever the existing 1 or 2 instances point of view. It can handle many requests and responses. Only for product point of view, I made 5. But still, product point of view we made, but automatically all other modules are also loaded. So that means what's happening in this case? Let's consider JVM memory point of view. So you made actually for the product management, but automatically all functionalities are occupying all other functionalities are also occupying the memory unnecessarily. So all other memory okay occupying the memories unnecessarily. So that means what is the point of unnecessarily here it is? Yes, right? Only product management point of view, I'm expecting all these 5 instances. Only product management point of view, if you have five instances up and running, I'm okay. But along with that, all other things also occupy the memory. So that means all unnecessary things occupying the memory means it will impact on the performance. It will impact on the performance. See, this is all our day-to-day real time scenarios also guys. Generally we will also do same kind of things on our real life, right? So whenever we will feel something like overburden, to reduce that overburden what we will do, we will split into something and we will remove some of the things from that area so that we will feel relaxed, right? So similarly here also, whenever we want really, then only we will bring it into that area when we really want it, like that same kind of things here also. So here it is impacting the performance. You made 5 instances for one reason, but automatically all other things came, and due to that automatically when more memory is occupied means more performance will go down, right? So that is how monolithic is having a lot of challenges with respect to performance point of view. like that. So to overcome these problems only, generally people find microservices architecture. So now if you take in the microservices architecture over this point, what microservices is doing actually? You are not tightly integrated all functionalities as a single application similar to monolithic, right? What you are doing, you made 7 individual services. Every functionality has a individual service. So that means user service, product service, order service, delivery service, payment service, return service, notification service, so on so service, customer care service. Like that, we create a total 8 individual projects: user, product, point of view. Similarly, I'll take order, and then similarly, whatever it is, delivery, and then something like customer care or whatever it is. So that means what we did in this case, total 8 projects, we segregated into 8 individual projects, right? So we are deploying into 8 individual projects. That's what I said. That's why I taken first point as a deployment. So you individually implemented, you deployed into 8 services. So now if I take in the same use case once again, so actually product management level, I have incoming traffic, lot of incoming traffic on the product management. So on a special day, I'm maintaining only 2 instances. Sorry, on a regular day. On a regular day, I'm maintaining a special only single instance. Sorry, 2 instances on a regular day. Okay, fine. Those instances are able to handle millions of requests. But on a special day, something like especially this kind of days, big billion sales point of view. So on a special day, that nothing but special means something like we announce with the sales or whatever. Now the same product management point of view. Okay, regularly I'm maintaining 2, but on the day I would like to maintain 10 instances. Okay, 10 instances. So the moment if I want to maintain 10 instances, okay, same product application, same project, again I deployed it as a 10 times, nothing but 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. So the moment I brought up, okay, 10 times product application, I deployed 10 times. This time observe, it is only product related. So that means your infrastructure level, only product management related logic point of view. Okay, product related or logic point of view, logic related services are up and running. 10 instances. That means your user point of view, assume by default I maintain 2 instances. So product by default, something like on regular day, I said like 2, right? Okay, fine. So this is also 2. This is also 2. This is also 2. Two instances. And this is also 2 instances. And this is also 2 instances. And this is also 2 instances. By default, I made everything as a 2. Now, on a regular day, everything is 2 only. On a special day, I felt like, okay, I'll make user as 4 instances. So user point of view, 4 instances. Yes, I can make four times the user service got deployed. Okay, 4 instances. So that means you are having the scalability or customization, okay, with respect to individual service point of view. Now user point of view, how many services you brought? 4. Product point of view, 10. And you feel like order point of view, you want 3. Yes, you will start order point of view, total 3 instances available with respect to order area. So that means you're having a scalability. This is what called as scalability, guys. Okay, order point of view, 3 instances we maintain. So that means it based on our traffic to the specific area, specific functionality, we can increase, we can decrease the number of instances, only that specific functionality. Why? These are all 8 individual services. The moment I thought, okay, lot of incoming requests coming, let's add 2 more instances. The moment I added 2 more instances of products, okay, total it will become 12, but still user related logic is still having 4 only. Order is 3 only. But in this case, what's happening? The moment you added 2 more, automatically you are actually adding for the product related logic point of view. But what's happening along with product, all other things also, okay, coming up. Why? It's a single project, single application. So you don't have a control on individual module or individual functionality availability, you can't scale up only individual functionality even though you have a requirement. But in microservices point of view, okay, so tomorrow you feel like, okay, let's add one more order instance. Okay, you are just increasing only order related instance point of view. But it doesn't mean like automatically all other modules also made it like that. No, that is what scalability. So in real time also I'll tell you generally, okay, so it's, I mean, when you're just working with Amazon, Flipkart, that level companies, what these people will do is they will apply dynamic scalability, guys. So especially because we don't, as a human being, we can't monitor all the time how many users are logged in, how many users are logged out. I mean, how much traffic is coming, how many incoming requests coming, right? So these guys will implement the dynamic scalability. So that means assume they will write some rules and regulations, and a general point of view I'll tell you. So assume on the big billion day sale itself, okay, assume like this. 2 lakhs point of view, this is all about, assume they thought like this can hold up to 5 lakhs users and like that. Now assume the moment it is went to 5 lakhs, it is crossing, the user logins went greater than 5 lakhs, the active users. So then what these people will do, I mean, there are different ways they will do that. They know how to, okay, they will have some tools. They will see the incoming traffic, threshold performance, something like that. Okay, it's not active user point of view. They will observe, okay, I cannot say like this. So assume product point of view, 2 instances are there, right? Okay, let's take like this dynamic scalability point of view. What they will do is 2 instances already available, right? So they will check the health status of these applications all the time, and they will check the threshold performance. That means every, okay, instance like product instance 1 and instance 2 product point of view, what these people will do is, so they will check the threshold performance, like nothing but per second how many requests are coming, like that. They will have some monitoring tools. So the moment it reaches to, they will have some default threshold performance, for example 70%. So on an average, these two services point of view, okay, if I'm getting so and so 70 percentage incoming request, less than 70 percentage, still two services only available. But the moment it is reached to greater than 70 percentage, that means a lot of users are keep on logging and exploring the products. So that's why a lot of incoming requests are coming. That means the threshold performance is going beyond 70 percentage. Then immediately what it will do is it will add two more instances automatically. Say it will, okay, that is how scripts will be implemented. Okay, you don't worry. As a developer, we will not do all these things. It's all just like, that's what DevOps teams, all these things will be done together with DevOps teams, guys. Okay, so like, so 2 instances. So again, it, okay, assume I that 4 instances point of view, I made 75% as a threshold performance. The moment it is went greater than 75%, again I will add 4 more instances. So that means 2 plus 2, total 8 instances available. Now again it is reaching to the 80 percentage. Again I am adding the two more instances, like that. So that means dynamic scalability. The scalability is happening on the specific individual microservice level based on the threshold usage. I'm dynamically increasing it. Okay, now sale is completed. Generally, what will happen? The day 1, day 2, more people will log in. Day 3 onwards, automatically again, the graph will come down, right? Lot of users actively logged in. Slowly, it will come down, right? It will come to the normal position again, right? So similarly, the moment again threshold performance in a reverse order point of view, the threshold performance point of view, it went from 8, okay, in between 80, 75 to 80 percentage, coming down. So the moment it is coming down, what it will do? Assume now the threshold performance is coming up to 75%. Then they will reduce minus 2 services. They will bring minus these 2 services. We can reduce it. We can reduce it. Similarly, it went to 70 percentage. Finally, below less than 70 percentage. So less than 70 percentage means it will come back to finally minus minus minus, like that. Overall, the basic instances are always 2 instances. So like that, again, the application is coming back to its original, I mean, the basic default instances. Like, so this is the dynamic scalability we can implement on a specific microservice, specific functionality when you implement it as a microservices. This is the biggest advantages of microservices. This is the only reason microservices are getting popular. This is the biggest reason. Not only this, we will have one more also. I'll cover that point also. Okay, along with that, I'll cover one more point also. But the main reason behind microservices is all about scalability. So wherever you want any specific functionality, whatever you want to increase, decrease the dynamic scalability point of view, you can increase only that functionality. Even you can apply dynamic scalability here, but the problem here it is, okay, when you are applying the scalability, what's happening? Every functionality is coming up. I don't want actually. I'm looking only for product management related logic should be loaded. I don't want actually delivery return these many times, but still those are all loading because it's a you made everything as a single package. So if you want to stop something, all the things will be stopped. If you start something, if you started once, all the things will be started. But here you have a control on each and every individual service level. That is the biggest advantage of microservices. Now, one more thing, the biggest advantage of, okay, biggest difference point of view, technology. Technology stack, the third point. So this is also one of the biggest advantage when comparing with the monolithic. So if you take in the monolithic, what I can say is single technology stack. Single technology stack. What is the meaning of single technology stack? Again, here it is. Okay, same application if I'm talking again, monolithic point of view. Assume right now I said what all these functionalities we have to implement. We choose a language called as Java plus Spring Boot. Okay, so that means all these functionalities you have to implement only under Java and Spring Boot. It's not like no. In the same monolithic project point of view, something like assume some reports concept is there. Okay, some reports like we can see our reports, right? What is our order history from last 1 year, 2024? So we will have reports generally when you logged into the your Amazon application. We will have reports. We can see our order history, right? Shopping history. We can see that in 2024. Okay, your orders level. So that means we can see that how many orders we made, all these things, right? So that means assume this reports also you have to implement. Yes, definitely you are implementing everything under Java and Spring Boot only. All the functionalities you have to implement only in Java and Spring Boot. But actually assume reports point of view, something you feel like Python is more better. Python is having a lot of features. Python is having a lot of libraries to make reports very clearly. Or to work with reports related thing, Python is the biggest advantage. But can you incorporate Python in the Java project means? No. So that means that drawback here it is even you have to, even though you know that Python is going to give better advantage when comparing with Java, especially in the reports point of view, you can't use it. Still you have to manage report section also with Java only. So that's why it's a single technology stack. The moment you decided one single technology, because it's a single application, right? You have to pack everything under Java and Spring Boot language point of view only. But when it comes to microservices point of view, individual, okay, multiple stack technology. So what is the meaning of multiple stack technology? In this case here it is different stacks technology or multiple. You can use multiple or different technologies. Okay, so how it is possible? Because the reason is what we discussed right now. This is the microservices architecture, right? So this is the microservices architecture. So what I said, okay, assume reports also. We are adding one more module called as reports also. So the moment I'm adding reports, okay, so we came to know that generating the reports is very easy with Python libraries when comparing with Java. Python is having a lot of libraries, something like that. Then can I use Python in this case means 100%. So that means this individual microservice I am implementing with a stack technology called as Python. Now, these are all services I implemented with Spring Boot, nothing but Java, assume like that. So Spring Boot. Okay, so some reason, customer care point of view, I used, okay, something, assume some .NET application or whatever it is. Yes. So it's a Spring Boot application. It is something like Spring application, or it is something like, again, some other programming language application. So how it is possible? How it is possible means, yes, everything is an individual project. But you made communication via APIs. What I said right now earlier, API communication. It doesn't matter in which programming language it is implemented. We are implementing everything under APIs. Tomorrow, user module point of view, when it wants some report based on the my current user ID, I will make a call to these reports. How? API call. So that means this Python application, this reports application implemented by Python via APIs. They are producing the APIs. Okay, so slash report user ID, like that they given some API. So what I'm doing, I'm just calling this REST API by passing my user ID, Dilip123, something like that. Then it is giving all the information related to Dilip ID. Okay, Dilip user ID point of view, all the information back to this Spring Boot application. Because why? It's an API communication. So we discussed already. I think we are already integrated in Spring Boot also, right? We integrated a lot of other party, other project or other language APIs. So that means you are making individual API integration in this case. Yes, that's why you can use based on your functionality, what programming language is suitable for a specific functionality point of view. You can customize microservices. Okay, with respect to technology stack also. With respect to technology stack also. So yes, it is a .NET application. Okay, everything they implemented as a API. Let's call this API. Your work is done. Let's call this API. While as part of something like order point of view, let's call this API. They are just exposing the APIs. Just consume the APIs. It doesn't matter for us which language they implemented. Okay, but simply we are making a API call and we are getting the response back. But while developing the application, we came to know that something like customer care application is more easily we can develop in the .NET. .NET is more famous for the customer care application. Python is more famous for the reports application. Like that, we came to know that. So that means we can customize our overall application via different programming languages also. So that is how microservices is providing a lot of flexibility with respect to technology stack selection as well as scalability point of view also. The moment you are having lot of scalability, generally what will happen, guys? Definitely you will have performance point of view. And your application is never ever going down also. So your application will in a big billion, okay, whatever it is, and every scenario, your application will work 24/7. So that means performance wise you can. So wherever you are lagging the performance, that you can implement, you can increase more number of instances, and you can utilize the technology stacks also specific to functionality point of view. So like that, you are having lot of advantages with the microservices when comparing with the monolithic point of view. So that's the reason. This is the reason you can people are choosing the microservices architecture nowadays in every application wherever you go. It's very simple. I mean, it's where people are going with microservices architecture. The advantage, not only this, reusability also. One more advantage is reusability. So what is the meaning of reusability? See, in this case, notification service I said, for example, right? Notification. So I implemented all the notification services like email API, okay, email, messages, push notifications, right? Yes, tomorrow, same notification REST service. So same service is already deployed, right? When Amazon is developing one more application, something like Prime Video, whatever it is, they are creating something like Prime Video application. So now in this case also I have to send notifications like your account got your account subscription is completed, something like that, or your account subscription is expiring like that. Yes, instead of again I'm creating the one more notification logic in this Prime Video, what I can do, I can call these APIs. I can call these APIs. So if I'm calling the email API notification with request body to email subject like that, email API, yes, then it will trigger email API. But if you take in the monolithic, what is the problem in the monolithic? You're not implementing as APIs generally. Okay. So that means you're not implementing everything 100% API. So notification point of view, simply you written a Java logic that is tightly integrated with respect to only this application. You written only simple Java classes and methods, but not as an APIs. So that means I can't call a single class and method outside of the class, outside of the project. But here it's an API consumption. You deployed, I can call this API again in this case. So that means your microservices are commonly shared across multiple applications also, if you are implemented in the microservices. So you're commonly sharing same microservices with other applications, Prime Video, something like that, whatever the Amazon applications they are having. They can utilize this common API, common microservice called as notification. So this is what one more advantage of the microservices point of view. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the drawbacks point of view, what is the drawbacks of microservices? So we discussed all drawbacks of the monolithic. Those things automatically converted to advantages of microservices. Now, similarly, what are the drawbacks of microservices? Is nothing but yes, it's not actually a drawback. It's all about overcast. Overcast. That means what? What is the overcast? So in this case, you are creating everything under one project. You are deploying into one server. So that means you are having less amount of application management. You just created a single project, but here you created multiple projects, as well as you are making a lot of API implementation, consuming the APIs. So that means here you need more technical people also. So that means more technical people. That is one thing. Second thing is you are maintaining 7 projects, 7 deployments. That means you are using more infrastructure. So it is occupying more infrastructure. Okay, so we are occupying more infrastructure. So that means more infrastructure. Microservices is occupying. Yes, obviously, right? 8 projects. Okay, if it is assume, I think something in my previous project, when we implemented, we have 45 microservices. So that means in a single project point of view, 45 microservices. That means 45 projects, 45 applications. So instead of maintaining one application is easy, or 45 applications means maintenance point of view, only one. Infrastructure point of view. Okay, deployment point of view and all, you will see less infrastructure with monolithic. So that means definitely microservices is all about something like overcast, guys, when comparing with monolithic. But clients will not worry about cost anytime. They will worry about their business. They will always worry about performance of their application, so that they can gain the customer satisfaction, so that with customer satisfaction, they can get the more business. So they thinks that's why they will never worry about the cost. They will work out, they will always worry about performance of the application, sustainability of the applications, continuity of the applications instead of money. They are ready to spend a lot of money to make more performed applications instead of worrying about the amount. So that's why most of the companies, they will not worry about the money. They will worry about the performances and customization of the applications, all this point of view. That's why they will say like, okay, let's let it take more infrastructure. Let we are ready to spend the money. Let's make everything in the microservices so that we can get all the advantages over the performance, dynamic scalability point of view, specific to a functionality, reusability of the existing microservices over the other applications point of view. So like that, people will prefer only microservices architecture. So because ultimately performance is important for every business. So instead of rather than the cost, because as a regular Amazon user, as a non-technical user, I will prefer only when I'm clicking on so and so product, if it is giving within 1 second all the response properly. Okay, whenever I opened everything, if everything is good, then I'll feel happy as a customer, and I'll refer to my friends also. Amazon application is very good. It's more fast. Whenever you are making the payments also, very less amount of time you will see transaction failures like that. Assume some ABC application is there. You are loading that application. The moment you clicked on the image, it is giving response after 5 seconds. And whenever you are making the payment, every time transactions are getting failed. So then what you will say to the someone else? ABC application is not good, performance is very low, and that there we are making any transactions also. Most of the times it is going down. Application is not working properly like that. So that means negative feedback. Then it will decrease the that business down. So that's why think always in a perspective of customer point of view, an end user point of view. So end user satisfaction is more important for every business. So that's why people will spend more money with respect to more performance in this competitive world. So that's why microservices got more popularity. And what kind of applications are implemented on microservices means I can say like 99 percentage, 99 percentage, whatever the day-to-day applications we are using, day-to-day applications we are using, nowadays everything running on the microservices architecture. Okay, especially Netflix, Prime Video, these are all proofs I will show you later. Netflix, all these things. Netflix, Prime Video, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, all these things. Everything working on the microservices architecture. Even small organizations also started adapting the microservices architecture. Your net banking applications, wherever you go, nowadays you are having microservices architecture only. Nobody is implementing on the monolithic when they are having big application. People are preferring microservices. Okay, so that's all for today, and let's connect in the next session. That means, okay, so what we will see in the next session is now in Spring Boot point of view, so how we are going to organize the microservices, how we are going to configure the microservices, what is the architecture of microservices point of view. Okay, what we are going to learn as part of microservices over the Spring Boot. We will discuss all these section things in the next session. So in today's session, what we discussed is just the difference between monolithic versus microservices in a generic point of view, why people are preferring microservices over the monolithic applications we discussed in today's session. Advantages versus, okay, over the monolithic point of view when comparing with microservices architecture. So what exactly microservices architecture? So we will see, and we will see how we are going to configure and communication. So these are the two major components, configuration and communication in the microservices architecture point of view. So how we are going to organize all these microservices as a single application. So how we are enabling the load balancing over this microservices, and how we are enabling communication between one service to another service. Are we using REST template or something else like that? We will discuss all these details in the next session.